Hey there guys, welcome back. My name is Mittens. Welcome to part 3 of the Nostalrius WoW rogue playthrough. Yeah, we are level 10, 11. We are level 11 now, very close to being level 12. And as you can see here, we are in a new place. We've got our friend the Tauren Woodig here, level 15 Tauren Hunter. Hope you've been doing some dungeons, my friend. That's what I'll be doing at level 15. Bet you guys want to see that. But anyway, let's have a look at where we are. If you've read already, we are at the Sepulcher. And the Sepulcher is another iconic place in this World of Warcraft that we are in Silverpine Forest. A great zone. I've only just turned up here, just completed one quest, picked up a few of the quests while we're here, and let's have a look at what we've got before we go off on our merry adventures. Supplying the Sepulcher, I've got to bring an order back to the Undercity, Remedy of Arulgol, a recipe for death, and Lost Deathstalkers. These ones are a little bit harder. I'm not going to do them just now. I'm probably going to start off with a recipe for desks. A recipe for desks? Yes. I'm going to kill some desks. No, recipe for death. Because we are the Forsaken. We only are concerned with death. We're going to kill some beasties and take some stuff, because we kill everything and make it like us. So it can be our friends, and we're going to find these lost Deathstalkers. So that's what we're going to be going on with today, guys. So sit back and enjoy, grab yourself a can of Pepsi or a Monster if you're rich like me, and let's get back on with it. So I know there's a lot of people questing around here, but hopefully we'll manage to kill some stuff. I just, literally as I said that, can see some over there. Maybe we can join a group or something, that'd be nice. But we've got to kill some of these spiders. Oh god, there's people absolutely everywhere. We've got to kill these spiders for the blood. We've already killed a couple of bears. Maybe if we go inside there'll be some... God, there's dead bodies everywhere, but I wonder why. Jesus Christ, there's dead bodies everywhere. Is there lions here or something? Oh, I hope there's not a lions. Anyway, I managed to find this one. Get some killing on the go. I like playing a rogue for a couple of reasons, because in vanilla, if you want to play a caster, it will take you ages for you to regen your mana. But as a rogue, obviously, we're just going to regen our energy and worry about health. But with health, you've got things like... Awesome. With health, you've got things like bandages that you can use, you've got food as well, and it's, I don't know, it's easier to obtain, and fuck's sake. I just killed that only to not get the loot. Who's in this group? What's the group kind? Is it, what's it set to? Take turns. Right, okay, guess that's the best choice. I forget this is obviously before the time of what's it called? The being able to loot the same thing if you're in a group, but oh well. I don't know why none of the people who I'm with are going inside. They just all seem like they just want to stay outside. Is it going to be my turn now? Yeah, it is. Awesome. Get a skittering blood. Am I going to have to pull everything here? Oh well. This is why I got a crossbow. I didn't show you this in the last episode, guys, but I learned how to use crossbows and swords. In the interim between this episode and the last episode, I learned to use crossbows and swords. Got myself a crossbow, obviously, because I've got leather working. I made myself a quiver, got some arrows. And it's just useful for pulling and just getting a bit of instant damage off. Nice. Oh, inventory's already full. I bought a bag too, just because I need it, really. I need bags right now. Why are all these people dead? Is it really that hard for people to stay alive now already? Or is it things that are respawning? And I think I see what's happening. People are getting respawned on. The party's disbanded, which is probably good enough for me, really. I mean, I can take out these things on my own. He says, hopefully. Yeah, I should be fine. I mean, I can always stealth if I need to. No, can't take any of that stuff. I'm gonna do a bit of a bandage. The thing that I like about bandaging is that you get cloth so often, and if you're not tailoring, and if you're not wanting to sell it on the auction house, which I'm not that fussed about right now, because I have my own professions to sell stuff on the auction house, then it can be really useful just to make bandages now and again, and just use them whenever you feel like it. Because I've got 25 bandages, and I don't really need to use them that much, so I'm worried that these spiders are going to respawn on top of me, but we'll see. I mean, I'm doing alright. This is the first quest, it's going quite well. Going through it quite swiftly. I hear that somebody already reached level 60, congrats to them, whoever they were. It'll probably take us a lot longer. I would have leveled a lot faster if I wasn't recording stuff, but because I'm recording, I'm taking my time, spending more time in certain zones than I normally would, you know, just for people to get the flavour of things. Because I'm doing this for you guys just as much as for myself, and I enjoy flavouring. Oh, there's a guy in here. Oh shit, there's two of them. Sprint away! This is why we have sprint. Haha. What are you gonna do, fuckers? There you go. Ah, that one ran away, but I'll get this one. Yeah, what I was gonna say is that I like recording this series mainly because it allows me to discuss what I'm seeing and kind of go into great depth about what I'm thinking, which is nice. It's a nice thing to do. It's enjoyable to talk about what you're enjoying whilst you play a game. Why the fuck didn't I get any loot there? Was he just without any loot? Shit! Ah, fuck's sake with you, instant fire blast bastard. Apologies for that. As you can see, I have a very roguelike mentality. Okay, kill this guy now. And also, I really do appreciate. Oh, I probably went a bit too soon there. I think I might have to pop the healing potion, but you know, that's what these things are for. Might be alright. Nope, I think I'm going to be alright. Yep, should be okay. It depends if I get enough energy. No, I'm fine. There we go. And then pop another bandage. Yeah, I really love playing the rogue. It's really swift. You can just move from mob to mob. And also, it's the class that I find least old-fashioned. Like, some classes, one of the problems that I have with vanilla, and it's not even a problem, it's just one of the issues that you have to deal with if you're playing vanilla, and I kind of enjoy it because it gives that old rustic, old school feel. Is that if you're playing, say, I don't know, like a priest for example, you've got one role and it's quite obvious what you're gonna do. You're gonna be casting, oh shit, this is why people are dying. Oh no, I didn't pull that thing. Oh wait, no I did. Why have I run the wrong way? Oh god. Yeah, I'm fucked here. I might be able to get away with this if I can pop a potion halfway through. I'm not sure though. Should have evaded a bit earlier. Oh, my hero. Is this the mage that I accused of being an asshole? No, it's somebody else. There we go. Nearly done. Awesome stuff. Yeah, one of the things that you have to deal with if you're playing vanilla. Oh god, I need to bandage again. So glad that I made so many bandages. I have got food, but I want to use bandages first because it's just, I don't know, I don't want to have loads of bandages clogging up my inventory. And at this rate I won't do. But yeah, what I was saying is that one of the issues you got to deal with and you got to take into account when you're playing vanilla and when you're talking about vanilla is that certain classes have very obvious and very simple roles. For example, if you're a priest, what you're going to be doing on a priest in vanilla is a pretty simple thing, and everybody knows what your role is. You are going to be, is that another, that's a bear, but you know, it might give us a heart. You're going to be healing, right, and you're going to be doing your flash heal over and over and over. It's the same if you're a druid, whatever. If you're a druid, don't expect to go feral or balance, it's just not going to happen. Realistically speaking, people are going to want you to go resto. But with a rogue, it feels not too dissimilar in some ways from the rogue of today. Like, it doesn't feel too old-fashioned a class, is what I'm saying. But at the same time, it does feel classic, and it does have its own unique feel, which is nice. I mean, what was taken away from the rogues wasn't the clunky stuff, wasn't the boring fact that you'd only be using certain abilities. That wasn't taken away from the rogues, because the rogues never had that. The rogues had a good setup where you had a lot of priorities to have up, very similar to how you have now as a rogue. In fact, I would argue that rogues are more simple now than they've ever been in retail lines. But what they took away from rogues is some of the RPG things, like for example, the necessity of picking locks isn't really, you don't really need to do it anymore. Poisons are now just an ability that you get. It's not even that you have to pay for your ability anymore. There we go, it's the last of them now, I just need a bear heart and we're done. It's literally a case of there's a bear over there too. Yeah, you don't even need to pay for your poisons anymore. You just get it as an ability that you can do whenever you want. You had to learn, and you had to do quests to get your pit locking, and you had to do quests to use how to use poisons. And then you have to use the ingredients. It became a skill, you know. And you leveled up these skills. The same with pit locking. It'll be interesting to relive that when we get those skills in this playthrough, which will be very soon, I should think. But yeah. Anyway, I think hopefully this bear will drop the next heart. We can return to the Sepulcher and maybe step off and do the other quest with the Lost Deathstalkers. Yep, there we go. We can do the other quest with the Lost Deathstalkers on the way. But yeah, let's bandage up and let's move on to the next quest. So here we are, we're about to hand in the Lost Deathstalkers quest. I just got whispered by somebody asking me if I want to join a French guild. replied saying I'm not French, but good to see that people want to recruit. Nice. You found us another moment too soon. I mean, you still get social guilds in vanilla, just as you do currently. Like, I mean, people complain about the era of social guilds where people just join to be in a sessionable guild. But the thing is that obviously in vanilla, if you join a social guild, you're not joining it for perks. You're joining it mainly to be in a community where people will want to do dungeons and stuff like that. So it's not like it has many downsides. I don't frown on it in the same way anyway. It's nice to see people are doing Shadowfang Keep too. It will be a while until we're doing it, but we're going to gather 6 discoloured warg hearts and bring them to Apothecary Renfarel. Is that the only quest that we've got? That's kind of annoying because I passed over a load of those discoloured warg hearts on the way here, but you know what? At least we can kill more people. There's Quinn Yorick. Hey, you've got the same hair as me, my man. And the same... No, not the same face, thank God. So, let's get back on with it. I thought we were going to get a quest to kill these guys, but I think we'll get that later on, to kill these Ravenclaw slaves. Ha! Wargs right here. Let's kill some. I love shooting this crossbow, it's awesome. It's interesting how it's Forsaken that teaches you how to use crossbows, despite the fact that there are no Forsaken hunters. Like, obviously in vanilla you couldn't be a hunter and be a Forsaken. Obviously you can use crossbows as any kind of, well, as a warrior or a rogue, and you can be a warrior or a rogue as Forsaken, but it's just interesting because ranged weapons are usually what you think of as a hunter thing. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of this light armor kit because I've got loads of them, and I'm only really keeping them now for the purposes of, well, I made a load of them in order to have to just up my skill in netherworking. Now I've just got a load for when I get upgraded armor. Oh, excuse me. Kill these guys. I am enjoying the leveling up process. I'll be interested to see how things go when everyone hits max level on the server. It should be interesting. It's another one. It's nice to be here. Oh god, I should probably just quickly bandage myself a little bit. That'll do. It's interesting to see, and it's good to see that there aren't so many people leveling here right now. I mean, I've seen loads of people. I've seen at least a couple of dozen people doing quests here. But it's nice to see that people have gone to different areas, or are just pacing themselves a bit quickly. Just because I like to be able to go through the quests here without having to wait for quest mobs. I mean, it's fair enough going through the quests slowly because I'm trying to make content and I want people to see things and I'm not rushing things too fast. But it's good to be able to complete quests without feeling that people... Ooh. Nice, I'll take that. It's nice to feel that I can complete quests without having to wait around for mobs. I'll probably put these on the auction house because one of the great things about leveling is that there's people wanting to buy these greens. A lot of people are trying to trade them, particularly in the low level zones. If I put them on the auction house, I've got a couple, I might get a few bits of silver here and there, and if I don't, I'll just sell them anyway, vendor them. What I'm aiming to do is collect loads of leather. As you can see here, I've already got 28, and I'm going to go to the trainer in Undercity, get a load of... Can't get that. I'm going to go to the trainer in Undercity, get a load of coarse thread, and make as much stuff as I can. Leatherworking is really easy at this level, and especially in this zone, mainly because you get so many quests to kill animals like bears and wargs, which drop leather, and also the worgen, which are here, also drop that stuff. So that's fantastic. You can skin worgen. It's kind of one of the things that I always found kind of weird is that when they made Worgen a playable race, I expected them to just use the models that were already there. In fact, I really appreciated the models that were already there. I think that the models of Worgen that are already around are really, really lupine. They look a lot more like wolves. They look a lot more ferocious. But they created these custom models, which is, you know, shows 10 points for effort, sure, but I prefer the old ones. There we go. Maybe it's because it was a different kind of Worgen, but who knows. Now, if we get back on with this, get another 3 hearts, we should be good to go. I was at one point wishing, like, whilst I'm really happy that I made an undead, because undead are my favourite races and rogue are my favourite class, so it's my favourite race class combination. I'm kind of pining a little bit for the some of the Kalimdor zones. We'll have to go there. I don't think I'm going to spend too long in in the Eastern Kingdoms here, purely because certain zones in the Eastern Kingdoms I don't really enjoy. Like, I love Tears Fall, and I like Silverpine. I love some of the both of the Plaguelands. I really like them, but they're not till way later, and it'll be a long time before we get those places. I don't like Hillsbrand, and I don't particularly like Arathi, and they're our next locations. Places that I would really like to quest in would be Thousand Needles. I'd love to go to Thousand Needles, and also I'd love to go to Ungoro, yeah, definitely. But another thing I was going to say is that, just quickly get a little bit, am I going to be able to tag this mob before this guy does? I think so. I miss just parts of, for example, Durotar. I really like those areas, because A, they're very much in keeping with the Warcraft theme, but also I really like Anchorage. Like, a lot of people know, AQ40 is my personal favourite raid. And places like the starting zone, Durotar, in my opinion, are really close to that theme. Like, you know, the desert Mesa theme. I really like it. But also I like the Valley of Trials, because similarly to Deathnell, similarly to Tirisfal, it has its own unique theme. But we definitely chose the best race class combination anyway. Just we'll have to make sure to go to Kalimdor soon and see what's to be seen. I am really loving this playthrough, and I'm loving this server, so I'm glad that you guys support it so much and want to see so much of it. Because it's great to do something that you enjoy and have people appreciate it. Where are these discoloured hearts? I'm getting none of them. Come on, get another first aid. I mean, it's levelling me fairly fast, but I'm going to have a bit of XP once I hand this in. I've also still got the quest, the Skittering Bloods and the Bear Hearts to hand in the Sepulcher too. So I've got a few things to hand in. So we should have the XP. Hopefully we can start getting these last hearts. We're getting loads of them at the start. Now I'm getting none of them. Oh my god. Gonna have to pause a minute. Do I have any food? It might be a good time to just get rid of any food that we have on me. No. Nope, doesn't look like it. Fire the crossbow. I like that we can use ranged weapons. Ranged weapons and things like having the picklock skill and having the poisons as a skill. It's kind of what I mean when I talk about the game having lost in retail a lot of the depth that it used to have. Things like hunters being able to use melee weapons, melees being able to use ranged weapons. You know, things like that just added a huge greater layer of depth to the game, and like, there was another slot for you to get stats on. So if a bow dropped and you didn't have, you'd used up all your hunters or whatever, it was like, oh, can I have that for the stats? Just stuff like that, you know. It's just hard in a sense. Whilst like pretty much every initiation of WoW, every iteration of the game has had some merit to me, apart from maybe Pandaria. Pandaria didn't really do a lot for me at all. The thing that I appreciate of the game, really, the Burning Crusade and Vanilla, is that there were these extra features that made the game tough, but were there purely for the sake of it being a better RPG and a more difficult, more challenging, and yet rewarding experience. And I feel like a lot of that reward has kind of left the game in retail. I mean, it goes back to, again, to what I've said in previous videos about it being streamlined. The game has been streamlined heavily to make it easier to access content. You can get into raiding right after you level to 100. There's things like Raid Finder, etc. And there isn't the reward to challenge ratio anymore. Like, I can get epics from doing LFR and not feel good about myself at all, just waste half an hour of my time and not even feel like a challenge. I can basically be AFK, and most people would agree with me. I think you as the viewers would agree, you can be AFK and do LFR. But when you play Vanilla, your first epic will be in a raid, and it might be several raids before you get your first epic. And when you do, it is a momentous occasion. And not even just your first epic being in a raid. I mean, you might be one of those people like myself who was lucky enough to get an epic world drop. I remember the first epic I got was on my Paladin, my first character, back in the Burning Crusade. I got a ring, a level 45 a elite ring, epic ring, and I think it was called the Endless Band or something like that. It dropped in the hinterlands. I still remember the moment I got it. I still remember whispering to my friends saying, "Oh my god, I've got this epic ring. What the fuck is this?" And it was just a shitty ring. It didn't even have the best stats for me. But that's what I mean when I talk about the wealth of challenge to reward. I mean, the only real game I played where I felt the similar feeling, and it only works in like an RPG format, is probably Dark Souls. That feeling of having done something which required not necessarily a lot of technical skill, but a lot of dedication and a lot of love for the character that you're playing. You know. Yeah. Do I have to? Now that I've got that. I mean, I like to have a little bit of a. All right, we can go back to the Sepulcher now. Good stuff. Nice to be able to hand in a couple of quests. Yeah, I like to be able to talk a little bit about why I love vanilla when I make these videos, because I think you guys appreciate that, and maybe you enjoy also sharing and maybe hearing similar opinions as to why you're playing private server. Or maybe if you're watching this with nostalgia in your heart, it's nice for you to remember what made vanilla so great from the perspective of somebody who's playing through it right now. And I can honestly say I would be right now. There are times when I want to go back to retail when I play on other servers, but right now I don't really want to be doing anything else other than this, and that includes other games, because I feel like I am in a really forward-moving server where there are literally thousands of people all leveling up around me, all wanting to help each other out because it's vanilla where you need to help each other, and the community feel is so vibrant and it's so good. It's not like a poisonous community. It's a community where people help each other out, where people bandage each other if they see that you've been injured in combat, where people will give you arcane intellect, fortitude, things that just don't happen anymore, and I really miss that, coupled with, of course, the really strong Warcraft 3 theme. But yeah, we're going to head back to the Sepulcher and hand these quests in, and after that, we'll see what we shall see. Okay guys, so we're a little bit further on, leveled up a bit, we're level 14 now. We've got a couple of quests. Nothing too major's happened. I went to the Undercity ones and did the quick rogue quest. It's pretty simple. Got this nice shiny dagger, as you can see here, the Blade of Cunning, to go alongside the Stone Splinter dagger, which we got in Tirisfal. And as you can see, we're getting pretty close to the level requirement for RFC. I say level requirement, but there isn't one in vanilla. Another thing that I like so much about it, there aren't so many restrictions on things. I could start looking for a group now. I mean, groups will take you as a level 14 into... I'll just kill this bear. Yeah, groups will take you as a level 14 into RFC for sure. I mean, I've seen a lot of people advertising groups saying level 14 minimum, but I don't really want to risk it yet. What we're going to do is we're going to get to level 15 first, so we know we're going to get a guaranteed group, and then we're at level 15. It'll probably be in the next video. We are going to first go to Orgrimmar and pick up the quests that I need to get. I want to go into RFC with all of the quests. I have Varimathras' quest already. I want to get as many of the quests as I can get though before going inside, and then we will try and get a group and see what we can do. But at the moment, I think we are going to get on with the Amber Mill investigations. I'm going to gather some Dalaran pendants, and that's probably the easiest option. A lot of the other quests we've got are elite ones, which will take some time, and then there's the Decrepit Ferry one. The Decrepit Ferry is a yellow quest, and it is soloable, but the thing is that the Ravenclaw zombies that you've got to take on in order to get to the Decrepit Ferry do a drain life, which makes them really, really hard to kill. It takes absolutely ages. So I think instead we're going to first make our way to Amber Mill. I put 3 points into improved eviscerate, and obviously I got the improved sinister strike. I'm just thinking what I'm going to go with next. It might be that I get the increased crit. I get the feeling that that's mandatory, or I might see what's in the subtlety tree. I don't think that this is necessary just yet. I don't particularly want to get the opportunity one yet either, because I don't believe I'm going to be much of a backstabbing rogue. I'm not sure though. About assassination, after killing an opponent, that seems very much like a... See, that could be useful in dungeons and raids, but it seems like a PvP ability. But of course we can always respec at the end. I think I'm going to go with the crit strike first, and then when I get to 5 I'm going to get the improved slice and dice, because that is a must. If I can have, I think, does that stuck up to 45%? If that does, it's insane. I doubt it does. I bet it probably goes up to 25%. But if I can have 25% longer time on my slice and dice, it just means that I have to worry about it a lot less. I can spend combo points in ruptures and eviscerates. I also got a kick, which is so good right now, because it means I can basically completely lock these Dalaran apprentices out of being able to cast the spells. Come on, get it off again. Annoying. Try to get it off every time. It is possible if you conserve energy to basically make them unable to cast. I think I'm just going to finish this one off with the crossbow. I had to miss, don't I? Oh shit, I don't want to... Last thing I want to do is let her cast off another spell. Don't want to waste health. Okay. 2 linen cloth. It's always good, because now I can start making these heavy linen bandages, which are a lot more effective. Want to be getting my first aid skill up for obvious reasons. I'm just going to tag this mob here, just in case that guy... What level is he? Level 16. Get the kick in. Slice and dice on the go. Level 14 rogue. Speaking of which, has he already gone to a dungeon? I think he might have done. Yeah, we're going to be definitely dungeoning soon, because the thing is that the cool thing about vanilla is that you, people ask, well, why, like, in retail WoW, a lot of people think, well, why dungeon? Because, I mean, you can level faster outside, well, you can level outside of dungeons unless you're spamming them, you know, if you're not playing a, I'm just going to make one of these. I'm using these to level up my leatherworking quickly, but I was going to say, if you're not playing a class that can just spam dungeons, then what is the point really in doing any dungeons until you get to higher levels and you need the gear? Well, in vanilla it helps with your leveling so much if you've gotten a bit of dungeon loot, especially weapons, and I really like that. I like how it helps in terms of progression rather than just being something that you do for experience. And the good thing about vanilla is that cause the leveling experience takes its time, you actually feel like getting bits of gear, even at low levels, is a worthy achievement. I'll let her get this one off. I just kicked for no reason, I think. God, she's doing a lot of damage. Oh, she's level 16, that's probably why. What the hell? I missed with the kick. Are you serious? I'm dead here. I am so dead. Yeah, I'm dead. At least I got the kill though. At least I got the kill. Maybe I should watch myself coming here actually. These guys seem to be pretty high level. We're starting to move into the phase of the well-known perilous lack of quests that you get. The bad pacing of quests can be kind of annoying. I might have to go to the Decrepit Ferry in a minute. Depends how many Dalaran pendants we can get. But yeah, you guys don't want to see me run all the way back to Amber Mill, so I'll pick it up when we are having a little bit more success. But as you can see at the moment, we are level 14. We are questing. Hopefully soon we will hit level 15 and can start making our first trip to Orgrimmar on camera, that is, to pick up these new quests. And I think you guys will definitely want to see that. Okay, so let's have another crack at this. What I realised that I was doing wrong is that I'm engaging the wrong people. As a rogue, we've got to think tactically. We're supposed to be smart, we've got to think on our feet. What it is that we're going for the mages, so we're going for these Dalaran apprentices, and the Dalaran apprentices are actually pretty difficult to kill as a melee. These guys over here, who am I entering combat with? But these people, I can't really do anything here, but I may as well save myself some damage by killing this guy. These Dalaran protectors are really easy to kill. They're just normal melee. They don't do a lot of damage. The problem with going up against the Dalaran apprentice is that you can only do so much damage before they break and flee. And when they flee, they end up pulling a load more who can shoot at you at range, and you basically just get willed down. But we can probably take this one out, because as a rogue, we've got the benefit of being able to stealth up to him like this, and then we can kick his first spell, and then we've already got a combat advantage. I really like the tactical level that's present in the vanilla game. Or should have probably... Can I kick him? Yeah. Like that, for example, getting a kick off. These guys can keep fire blasting, and it can be really annoying. See, now he's going to run. Fortunately, I managed to catch up to him there, but as you can imagine, if he'd gone over there with me already nearly at half health, I would have been in some serious bother. So we're at about 5 out of 8 pendants right now. We're probably going to complete this quest pretty soon, and see what else we can get on with. I'm trying to make the videos a little bit longer, because I get the feeling that that's what you guys like. There was a lot of positive response. See, this guy's a protector, so if I just shoot him now with my crossbow, I can drag him over to me, and we can get on with things. Yeah, there was a lot, very positive response to the length of the last video, which was about 45 minutes or so, and it means that really I can just get on with doing more footage and put as much footage as possible into the final cut, effectively. But I think I'm going to end this video when I get to about level 15, because see, when we get to level 15 is when we're going to start dealing with the issue of dungeons, and when we get to that stage, I'm probably going to want to have an episode fully dedicated to that, to the preparation for our first dungeon, and then the dungeon itself, which might end up not even being the same part. It might end up being 2 parts, because taking dungeons, doing dungeons in vanilla, well, really up until around Wrath, I would say, vanilla and Burning Crusade dungeons were big affairs. Not only did you have to get, oh, I might be dead here, if I need, potion, needed to do that. I'm glad that I had a few potions left over. Yeah, in Wrath, things started becoming a lot more streamlined, as the game in general became so, and also the queues started to come into account. Oh shit, who the fuck's this guy? Ah! Don't come for me. I'll get you, bitch. Stealth, I don't think it's going to do me any good. These people will probably go to Scarlet Monastery. Another thing that I find absolutely awesome, it really does encourage well PvP. I remember when I played a human paladin, going to Scarlet Monastery and having to run all the way through these lands, it was so tense, and that's what I loved about playing. But what I was going to say was that in Wrath, obviously, they brought in the streamlined features of LFG, but in Burning Crusade and Vanilla, not only did dungeons take a hell of a lot longer to complete because they were very, very difficult, and you had to spend time healing, drinking up to get mana all the time, but also you had to make your way there, as we've just seen demonstrated in that paladin, who was doubtless going to Scarlet Monastery. There is no other reason that that paladin would have been going anywhere. Go back in stealth here, maybe creep up on this guy. The annoying thing is he's running away from us, and I think he's only a little bit slower than us right now, so this could take some time. Hopefully he'll turn around again. Nope, doesn't look like it. This does look a little bit dodgy, doesn't it? You know, and a man creeping up behind a very small person. Anyway, see, we kicked that guy there. We'll get the slice and dice on now. We're not going to get his next interrupt because look how much time we've got on our kick. We'll probably get this one. So there, we kick him there. It lowers our DPS a bit, but if we can come out with a bit more health, it's always good, especially if they run. Because if we do get attacked, we want to be able to get away. Maybe only take a couple of hits. Okay, so I'm just going to get on with getting these pendants, and I'll catch up with you guys once that is done. Okay guys, well, to round off this episode before we start getting into the, hopefully the dungeon side of things in the next episode, which I know you guys are probably all looking forward to, our first dungeon, the chance and choice of Fat Loot, Meditating Orc over there, Spur, Orc Rogue, first Orc Rogue I've seen in a long while, not as good as me, my friend, sorry to say it. We're going to end the episode with a trip to the Decrepit Ferry, as we are level 14 now. We're about halfway to level 15. And the only real quest that we can be getting on with right now here in Silverpine is this quest to investigate the Decrepit Ferry. Annoyingly though, it means taking on these guys, who are tough as shit. So, nothing really more to be said. Let me show you why these guys are tough as shit. Watch for the drain life here, because at the moment it seems fine, you know, I'm just taking this guy on. I have kick now though, so I should be able to do something about it. Yeah, I can. Oh, before I didn't have kick, and not having kick and not being able to interrupt the drain life was just deadly with these guys, because it did so much damage. I'm just going to save a bit of energy. I like to try and pool a little bit, just in case. At this point it's fine, I can just eviscerate, but I like to pool a bit of energy, just in case I have to do a kick on these guys. It's really nice, the level of tactics that I have to go into when I play this rogue. I'm really enjoying it. So wait for the drain life. It's going to come quickly now. Nope, just a curse there. There we go, that's the drain. There's the kick. Just want to get that over with as soon as possible, because that's the only thing he's going to do, which is really going to cause us big problems. I mean, of course, he puts that Curse of Agony on us, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but imagine the Curse of Agony coupled with the drain life. It's really not what you want. I should really start getting cooking. Next time I take a trip to the Undercity, I need to get cooking. I forgot to do it before. Silly of me. I fortunately have loads of these Sengen roots from a quest, which proves quite useful right now. What is the quest that I have to do exactly? It's called the Decrepit Ferry. Just go to the Decrepit Ferry and search for the Reason Scourger there. And this is actually quite a disturbing part of this questing line, actually. You'll soon see why, but when you find out why the Scourger at the Decrepit Ferry, it's kind of a little bit It's kind of grim. I mean, a lot of this content is quite mature, but in a very interesting way. Like, I love this whole idea of the scourge and this undead force that can't be contained. I think it's a very interesting concept that they came up with. I'm going to take out this guy first. I think he's the biggest threat. Level 15, but we should be alright. I'm going to put on evasion, just to minimise our downtime after we get this fight. Is he casting something? What's that? Stunned? Well, that's not good. And armor reduced too. No, these guys aren't that bad. I thought these guys were really terrible, but they're not. And they drop linen cloth, which is good, because it means that we can do a bit of a first aid. It's sometimes annoying when you have to first aid in areas without any cloth dropping guys, but... So that guy's come for us now. Oh, I should remember to do Will of the Forsaken when I get stunned like that. I'll do that next time. Make sure that that's working correctly. There we go. Oh, apparently it says I can do it when I'm stunned, but... Oh, well I just popped it in the middle of nowhere. Pointless, but more linen cloth, awesome stuff. Get that on us and we'll make a few bandages, heavy linen. Probably learn some new first aid stuff when I go back to the Undercity too. The thing that I like is that, and this is very much a vanilla thing, because you need to buy your abilities, and because you have quests that involve going to cities, and because you have professions as a much more vital part of your leveling experience and your endgame experience, the need to go back to the big cities is far more heightened. And I really like that because it feels like you have to do a lot of travelling, much like in any RPG really. Like if you play Skyrim, you want to be travelling to the different cities, you know, to do quests, to do crafting, things like that. I think I could actually kick that. I think I just kicked it. Either that or he just missed me with his cast. So, we managed to clear our way, and I think we're about to find out what the Scourge are doing here. And it's this corpse-laden boat. Because you see, these corpses have been piled into this boat, and the Scourge are interested in it. Heaped within this boat is a pile of wrapped corpses, and looking east across Lordmere Lake is an opposing dock on the Fenris Isle. The fate of the corpses must lie on Fenris Isle. Among the corpses, a hand protrudes unwrapped. It is the hand of a woman, pockmarked from the plague, but relatively fresh, not flesh at all. On the hand is a ring. Removing the ring and inspecting it reveals an engraving for Delia. Bring Delia's ring to High Executor Hagdrek at the Sepulcher. And we will do that, guys, but I am going to end this episode here. Let me just get onto a nice promontory position so we can have a look out over Lordmere Lake. And we can see Dalaran in the distance, where our journeys will one day take us, no doubt. But anyway, guys, people flying overhead. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. I definitely enjoyed making it. In the next episode, I will endeavour to get us into a dungeon, and we will see how things go. Until next time, I'll see you later.